Okay, so today we'll take a look at a dashboard, right? Um, as you can see on your screens, we have what we call a school data fiesta for academics. Right now, we've only fed in our lesson plans um, and our mark sheets. And I can't really go into some of these tabs, but yeah, you can see this gives you a completion status across the board, and then it tells you which teacher, which grade, which section, what status it is in. You can click any of these, it'll open up a site tab. I can't really show you the site tab, but the site tab has very quick glanceable information as to what status the lesson plan is in. So if you're a principal or a leader of the school, this is a fantastic way. You just go, this is a web app built on Google Apps Script and fundamentally Google Sheets. So you can just go here and then see the data, right? I think marks as well, performance tells you, at risk, marks analysis, all of this is built in. And at the top, you can see we've not really started tracking the data yet, but the system is ready. So how did we go about it? We started with a prompt. This was when Claude Fable was still available. We started with a prompt. Yeah, this is one of my longer prompts. I know I keep saying I'm lazy, but sometimes when you need a good product, you need to give generative AI a lot more context, right? So a bit of background as to how I'll just leave this on screen while I talk. So those of you who want to read it can read it, whatever. Um, we've tried building analytics dashboards. Back when we were using extensive formulae in Google Sheets, we've built dashboards, summary tabs, all of that, overview tabs in Google Sheets. Then I think about 1.5, 2 years ago, when generative AI started vibe coding revolution or whatever, we started building dashboards and app scripts, but none of them were fast, none of them were efficient. And I think this is where the Fable model of Claude really shined. Because when I gave this and it built this, it asked some questions. So I gave this, no, I think I ran out of credits. So anyway, so I gave it some files to work with and all of that. And this was actually originally built for admin, right? Um, and then I took the model. I mean, by that time, Fable was banned. So I took the model. I gave the folder to Claude Opus, and I said, "Hey, can you build something similar like this for academics?" So the thinking is Fable. Why is this so fast, right? Why? How is this so fast? Usually, a web app which is using Google Sheets, multiple Google Sheets, right? You can see here we have the full list of files. That's, I think, over 60, no, over 200 lesson plans across the school and about 40, 50, 60 mark sheets, right? So again, we have a settings tab. It's a system, so you can configure things in the settings tab. Whatever you put here comes up as your heading here. Actually, we have the school name there, but I edited it out for the purposes of this video. And the killer thing that Fable did is, sorry, I didn't load this up. Yikes. Yeah. The killer thing that Fable did is it said, I will create, if you create a web app dashboard that pulls from multiple Google Sheets, it's going to be really slow. So it said two things. One, I will not update it real time. I will set a trigger to update it every half an hour. I'll give you a refresh button. You can refresh it whenever you want, but it will update every half an hour. So it stopped real time. I said, yeah, for a dashboard, that's fine. It's not like, a cricket score or football score that I need real-time updates. The second thing it did, what I just showed you briefly, it said I will create a text file. Every time I update the dashboard, I will look at all the Google Sheets. I will create an app script to look at all the Google Sheets, pull them into a text file, a JSON text file. JSON is JavaScript something something. You can look it up. It doesn't matter. So pull it into a text file. I'll use the text file as backend for my dashboard. That's it. That stopped the slowness of web apps built with data fed in from Google Sheets. It's cracked it. Similar to how Fable cracked the whole, if you're going to have 56 marks management system files, why not create a library and then just use 35 lines of code in each of those files instead of repeating the code across? I think this was brilliant. For someone who doesn't know code, who has the logic ability to think through and build these systems, I think Fable was just brilliant. So yeah, this is what we did. This is uh, this is something you can do as well. It all depends. I mean, you can have different trackers, you can have different databases feeding in, you can have whatever source you want. The idea is to give people at the top an overview of what's happening across the organization. Yeah. Thank you for watching.